Hi, all. So I am going to make a video about how to use this channel. The idea is that I can use this video to reference anytime someone asks about how to find the community tab, how to become a member, how to find which playlist they are interested in for the area of awakening or spirituality they're interested in or working through, and just other logistics, because I get a lot of questions, and YouTube isn't awesome at having a one-stop resource or place people can look to figure all this out. And the nature of social media these days, it's complex, it's confusing. There are so many different platforms, and people just get totally overloaded. So I want this video to just be a simple how-to as far as how to use my channel, how to find what you want, and what we do here, and so forth. So first thing I want to do is just talk about how to find the main channel page, and when you find that page, what you're looking for there. And so I'm going to share my screen here, that one. And you're going to see this is what it looks like when you're on my main page. So if you can't find my main page, any video you see of mine, underneath the video, you'll see my channel. Like, so for instance, if you look here, right here. So Simply Always Awake. If you just click on that, under any video you find, it should take you to my homepage. So this is my homepage. Okay. And from my homepage, you can find everything you need. Essentially everything. Yeah, it's all here. So I'm not sure if everyone even knows how to find this because of the way these algorithms work. They just serve you videos and you just watch what the algorithm tells you too often. But I really have structured my page in playlists that have to do with different stages of awakening, what you're looking for, what kind of work you want to do, and all that sort of thing. It's all here. So this will just go through that reasonably briefly. So if you look at my main community tab here, or my list of tabs, there's the home, which has basically the playlist, not all the playlists, but it has a lot of the playlists laid out kind of by like beginning to end. But here's interviews about awakening, which a lot of people really like to watch. Basics of awakening, I would say anybody should take a look at these. These kind of are a basis and foundation for anything along this spectrum of awakening and realization and spirituality and enlightenment and all that. The awakening approaches are very specifically geared toward people who are interested in waking up. This first awakening, Kensho, Satori, they haven't had a significant shift in identity, but something about this whole thing interests them, this whole thing we talk about here. So these are all sort of saying, okay, you've decided that's what you want, that's what you're interested in. Let's light the fire, right? Let's get rolling here. So there are techniques, there are non-technique based orientations for sort of surrendering to the process. There are things that point out the common obstructions that occur that get us distracted or that confuse us about the process. But these are really geared towards someone who's like, I'm ready, I want to wake up, let's do it, right? That's what this playlist is. Q&A, just various questions answered. Non-duality is pretty specific to deeper stage realization. It's specific to once we've had awakening, once we've clarified the reactivity and things are calm, we've done the shadow work or the vast majority of the shadow work, and we're starting to either sense or experience and or want to directly engage the non-dual aspect. And this is the non-dual aspect in reference to like the way the Buddhist model might describe it, like the Bahya Sutta. This isn't Neo-Advaita. Like a lot of people call that non-duality, but that's not what non-duality is, not in my opinion. So this is very specific. These are very technical and specific approaches. You can work through these or use these anytime you want, even if you've not had an initial awakening, but don't let them distract you too much. If you're interested in waking up, just strike while the iron's hot. Don't get too bogged down in deep stage realization insights and worrying about all that and understanding doctrine, and don't worry about it. You just take that plunge. Yeah, that's what these other playlists up here are for. Equanimity is specific to after awakening. You can use this anytime as well. It's good work. It's deep shadow work. It's deep emotion work. It's really the deepest. You're getting down to the roots of what cause us to feel reactive, to react. It can be very difficult to approach if we're very mind identified. If we have a lot of emotional repression left, this stuff may just seem like nonsense. So that's what these are for, though. If you've gone through awakening, you find yourself in that fluctuating, meing and being thing. You're kind of in no person's land, don't know what to do, where to go, but you experience awakeness frequently, or you experience presence frequently, or awareness, and yet you're like, okay, well, what to do next? Yeah, that's this playlist and or the emotion and shadow work playlist. They kind of go hand in hand, but the reactivity and equanimity is a very specific technique when you're really getting down to the root of reactivity and emotion work. Okay. Consciousness. This is a good playlist for someone approaching awakening, but especially after awakening, when you find yourself, without being able to control it, spending a lot of time in thoughts. And this is a sort of where meditative practice meets a deepening experience of this unbound conscious experience that can happen throughout the day as well. And so these are all sort of pointers to point you back to that. It's a meditative process largely, but it's quite valuable to learn to stabilize that. That you can almost say the I am sense actually after awakening, but this can also be helpful before awakening, especially with meditative techniques. Emotion work, obviously. Oh, I'm sorry, this is thoughts, excuse me. Thoughts. This is good at any time, before or after. It comes into play even in deep stage realization, but it can be very valuable initially as well to start to really investigate the spell of mind identification and the implications of it, which are very far reaching, and they've reached deeply into even realization. I find so this is all good stuff here. A lot of it's kind of both inquiry based, but also pointing to the initial issue that we find ourselves, the initial problem, what causes suffering, why do we suffer, why does it have to do with thoughts, and so forth. That's what this playlist is. Emotion and shadow work, again, related to post awakening largely, but this is also very valuable before awakening for anyone. The more you do before, the less you'll have to do after, but there will be emotion and shadow work before and after awakening, unless you really avoid it or convince yourself it's not true by saying there's no one to do that work, there's no one here, there's just this, and right, don't do that. It's not a good idea. No self. Okay, this is deep stage realization. These are pointers and various aspects of that experience of no self. It's not an experience, it's a realization. It's a dropping away of the self structure, which we're seeing more and more of, interestingly, it seems like, and there are even nice approaches to working to that after non-dual realization. So this is very deep stage stuff. If it just doesn't hit at all, it doesn't make sense, or it's kind of like causes a sort of existential fear when you watch those, don't worry about it. Just don't watch that playlist until later on when it feels relevant. And then these are interviews of people interviewing. No, this is people interviewing me. Yeah. So this playlist is everyone who's interviewed me, unless I forgot some. I have other playlists, by the way, but those are kind of the main ones. Maybe there's probably other main ones, but let me click on my playlist thing here to show you. Art and Awakening is a new one. I'm going to be interviewing artists who are interested in this whole realm. There are playlists for the founders and for the patron circle people specifically. Those are levels of membership. Obstructions and fixations. Some playlists overlap. So I also have one called No Sound, because some people really don't like background sound. So I'll occasionally do a video with no sound, and I have that under the No Sound playlist. Stages of Awakening, if you're interested, especially after awakening, and how the things progress, how the process tends to progress. It doesn't do it the same way for everyone. Guided meditations, right? So there's these other playlists you can look at by clicking on the playlist tab. All right. So there's also the shorts tab if you like shorts. I do shorts because YouTube wants us to do shorts now. The creators are supposed to start to do shorts. We don't have to, but it helps the algorithm, and that's YouTube wants to. It's not going to go to short form content. It's going to stay long form content, but they want part of their platform to compete with TikTok and Insta and Facebook and all that. So those are shorts. If you don't like them, you don't have to click that tab. They're mostly cuts from my other videos, not all of them. Lives. This is the live tab. If you're looking for an upcoming live, I think it's hard for me to know because I only see it from my own platform, which looks different than other people's, but you can find hopefully the lives that are upcoming. It should say upcoming. That's what it looks like to me when I go to someone else's channel and they have lives. So if not, then the way to really know for sure if what lives are coming up is to go to the community tab right here. This shows all the stuff that I post to both members and non-members, but anything about a live upcoming is going to be posted to the members of the at the sustaining member or above level. So so get used to looking at the community tab if you're a member. If you're a paid member, you might as well just peek in on this every couple days or whatever. I'll try to post them as far ahead of time as I can. I can't always with lives because of my schedule, but I'll always do at least a couple of months. So that's the way to for sure know that when I'm doing a live and what time and so forth. Also on my homepage, if you notice, there is a bell. I have to see my screen here. I guess I can't see it on my own, but there should be a bell up here for anyone who looks at my channel that's not me. And the bell should give you a notification for upcoming things like videos released, events, etc. Now, I have no control over what that bell does. That's just what it's supposed to do. The YouTube algorithm is mysterious. I can't control what it does. I can't promise you it will always tell you that. The only way to 100% know is to look in the community tab, because I will always post them ahead of time when I do. Sometimes I'll do a live where I don't post ahead of time because I just go live, and I'll usually do that for the public, like with Zubin. But yeah, the community tab is the 100% way to know. But clicking the bell should usually tell you at some point ahead of time. But even then, I don't know how the announcements are sent out. I don't know if it goes to which email or how you're subscribed to YouTube. Like, I have no clue. So when people ask that, I can't tell you for sure. I just don't know. And different platforms are different. Like if you look on the iPhone, things look different in this tab or on this page than they might on an iPad versus a PC versus a Mac. So you should see some form of this main page here, which has all the tabs, and community tab. Once you find the community tab, that's going to be your go-to. That's where I make the announcements. And there's, polls you can take and whatever, like I put some stuff in there, but that's pretty much it. I think as far as the questions I normally get. Memberships, I get sometimes the question that, how do you become a member, right? And only become a member if you can A, afford it, and B, want to support the fact that I do this so I can do it more and work slightly less at my other job. I want to stay working, but I don't want to overload myself to the point where I have no free time. So that's the idea, is over time I can work a little bit less, and that supports me. But if you're interested, there should be on this part of the screen here a tab that says join. And sometimes I think it says membership. It depends on the platform. Sometimes on iPhones, though, it's not there, I've heard, or Android phones. So if you can't find it and you want to be a member, all you got to do is go to either use your PC or Mac. You should be able to see it, or laptop or whatever. You should be able to see it here, the membership tab. And it tells you there's like a huge range, like starting at $2.50 a month and whatever. And there's like perks and all that. But you're not buying anything. You're supporting me. And with that, I give perks. I just give a little extra stuff. Lives are a big one. Then I'm going to have all of my retreats over time as I record and stock them in there. Those are going to be in a database that you can always see all my retreats, including Q&As from here on. So right now there's not a lot in there, but there's going to be a lot over time because I do several retreats a year. So that's how to utilize my channel. And yeah, that's it. And as far as memberships, the other question, which I think people have realized now, memberships don't mean I'm going to stop doing free stuff. I do tons of free stuff. Right now I'm doing a free video every day, sometimes more. Yeah. So the memberships are really just to support me if you feel like doing that because you like what I'm doing. So that's it. That's how my channel works. Hopefully that's valuable and helpful to you. But now I have a reference video I can send to people when they ask these questions. If you have other questions beyond that, put them below in comments, and I can maybe address them in a pinned comment or something for other Q&A type stuff, or FAQ. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks so much for your support, and hopefully that wasn't too boring for you, and we'll talk to you soon.